slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. Through the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway, and in the driveway. Isn't that strange? Cause I grind through the climb, I ain't like pain. You never hit the bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, is belief. They'll see with the negativity, but I just gotta right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 you got a mind, but even I can change. You can flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst I say, turn it to a game. Take the best I say, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you feel it, no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past, start a plan, and you find a door. Open it up, and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 still go, go, slow, still go, go, stop, hope, still go, I go, answer to no, I still go.
Case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph, and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. Now there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
All right, what's happening with it? Man, I got somebody backstage already. All right, so this is gonna be a long one tonight. Oh yeah, so this is gonna be different tonight. This is something totally different that I'm doing. I really wanted to do this on the second channel. I'm unsure if I want to do it. I kind of want to see what the outcome is on this thing here. But what this is tonight, guys, it's gonna be some DCS corruption stuff. On Facebook, I'm a part of all these groups, all these separate, a whole bunch of different groups. There's so many of them, but there's a lot of like crazy, horrific stories in these groups. And like about maybe about a week ago, I posted, "Hey, if you guys want to come on and share your story, DM me." And I got a shitload of DMs, But the problem is with a lot of these people is I don't know if like they cannot talk about certain things, or I don't know why the majority of people get cold feet or whatever. It baffles me. This is something Noelle used to do on her channel a long time ago. And she used to do this amongst other things, but specifically this. And man, I'll tell you what, a lot of people would say, sure, I want to come on, I want to do it. and just never come on. I don't know why. It baffles me. But I'm just saying that part out there because I'm gonna put this in the group that I found these two ladies tonight. And yeah, if you've messaged me, man, you gotta it just hits different. Like, you know, to give everybody an example, there was one lady I talked to, and she had a crazy story. Like, she had a mother-in-law that was on fixed income, right? I forget if it was disability or whatever it was. So she's only getting X amount of money per month from the government. That's it. So what was that thing called, babe? The mental thing? Postpartum during like child's birth, postpartum. She got diagnosed with that. CPS, she never had it. CPS gets involved. Blah blah blah. Long story comes long. Meat and potatoes is the mother-in-law of the baby daddy, right? Put CPS on this lady. I mean, talk about your whole relationship. Just because you guys know adoption is big money. It's big money. You know, for somebody on fixed income, an extra $400 or $500 a month goes a long way, especially in 2025. But it's crazy. Just the, this lady, one of the guy would come on first and tell that, but she it's not that she didn't want to come on, she was afraid to come on. So that you get a lot of that. It's crazy. So all right, I have to fix this stuff in the all right. So Rennie, is Rennie there? I got Athena. You're backstage. So this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have Rennie come on first, and then I'm gonna have you come on second. So all you have to do is if you go to YouTube, you can watch the chat and the live, right? And then I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for you. So the best thing you can do is go to the chat right now, so I can see you. So let me send this link to. Already did, but I want to bring this lady Rennie up. Hold on 1 second. So I'm gonna kick you off here, okay? Okay. So I kicked you because I'm gonna have Rennie come on that first, and then I'm gonna have you come on second, right? Like I messaged you. Plus, you got to connect your microphone and when you hit that link, you have to connect your device. So you have to give access to your camera and your microphone, right? If you can't figure that out, that's not a problem either. Okay, Rennie, don't see her in chat. Hit the link. All right, let's see how this private chat, what's this about? I'm in the chat. No, you were backstage. You weren't in the chat. I can't see you in the chat. This is a private chat. Oh man, you guys got to have YouTube. All right. All right. So let me see what's going on with this. Click the link. All right. So maybe we'll do it backwards. I don't know. Are you typing? I got frozen here. Are you in there? Go in there. Because I see nothing. It's weird. I'm like looking for oh man, here we go with this. All right, look. So Athena, Here, let me just bring you up. You have to connect your device. Look, you hit the link, but you have nothing connected. What's up? What's up, Free? No, device is not connected. You got to connect your devices. No, man. Come on, you guys. This is out of control. Let me call you. I'm going to kick you from the studio because you clicked the link, but nothing's happening. The link block my mic and cam. No. Hey, you have to click the link and allow access. Are you watching YouTube? No, don't do any of that. Don't do any of that. So this is what you should do, right? Go to YouTube. Go to my channel on YouTube. It's White Boy Radio. So go to YouTube. Go to the chat. What's up, Ellen? I'm going to drop the link in the chat. You guys don't know anything about panels? It can be frustrating for people who don't understand it. I thought we went over that. My bad. All right, so go to YouTube. Go to my page. Are you there? Yeah. Okay, go to the chat. Yeah, so you're gonna have to hang up and go into the chat. No. Listen, this is how we're gonna do it. I mean, this is super simple, right? Just click these links I send you. That's all you got to do. I'm gonna send you a link. Click it, right? Don't join anything. Smash the subscribe button and the like button, but you're trying to join a member. You're joining a member. It's not on members. All right, so let's go to the chat. All right. You're there? All right. Okay, technical difficulties, people. I don't get it. I do understand it. Okay, I guess you try to join a member or something, so this should bring you right to the chat, I believe. Okay, bam, and then I don't know. I had 2 guests tonight. I don't know if the other one can't figure it out or what. We'll have to just coach them through it. Okay. All right. Anyway, until they come in here, I don't know how it should be that difficult to figure it out. What up? Hey, babe. What's up, Free? Man, look, I want to say this before anything. So this is something different that I'm doing. This is not like the regular content that I do, obviously. You know what I'm saying? This is far from like jokes or whatever. Kind of keep it serious. But I will say this, though, without saying too much. Man, I'm telling you what, I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance for, oh, my God, to the entire community about what's about to unfold in a couple of days with Bullhorn Betty. I'm going to apologize in advance. Not really, or that I mean to, or, wholeheartedly feel that way. But the amount of bitching that's going to come from that sector of the internet, I apologize for that because someone's about to get super triggered. All right. Oh, man, what is happening now? This is not that difficult, ladies. What's happening? All right. Let's try it again. How do we get flustered? How do we get confused? Come on with it. That's tough.
Pretty sure I'm right now.
Okay, so all you're gonna do is go to the YouTube and go to the chat. That's it.
I hit the chat. It won't let me join the chat unless I've been subscribed.
No.
For 20 minutes.
No. Yeah. So you gotta subscribe.
That's the issues. I don't have hard to put in to subscribe.
No. So you hit members first. You hit the members thing first. That's
okay.
To become a member, you got to pay for it. To subscribe, it's free.
Okay.
So you guys, I have the setting on. I can actually take that off. So let me do this to help you. So subscribe. Did you hit subscribe?
Okay. I'm subscribed now. I just have to wait 5 minutes before I can actually fix that.
I actually just fixed it for you. You should have to wait 1 minute now. Or maybe I can just take it off. All right, so just go to the chat and try to type something.
Yep.
It's gonna say like you have to be subscribed to this channel for 1 minute or like 30 seconds or something like that, right? Is that what it says?
Here, I'm gonna start screen sharing with you so you can see exactly what I'm looking at here.
No, I know exactly what's going on. So just just type like a thumbs up emoji. Just try to type it in the chat.
Yep.
And what did it say?
I'm doing the heart emoji.
And it should be telling you something. What's up, Shelby? Does it say like you have to wait an amount of time or something like that?
She doesn't have to say have to withdraw. I just drop the link and tell her to click on it. And
okay, so
you have to subscribe to that.
Yep, I'm at the YouTube and I'm at the chat right now.
Just drop the link.
So here's a link right here. All you got to do is touch this link, and when you go to this link, right? When you hit this link, it's going to bring you to StreamYards, right? Okay. So when it brings you to StreamYards, when you download any app on your phone, it's going to say like, give Pandora access to your studios or access to your microphone, right? So you hit yes, right? It's doing the same thing right here because you're using the web version. So you got to give access to your mic and your camera. That's it. And then you're in. And then when you click, then I can put you on. All right. So
let me get into it real quick.
Okay, yeah, I dropped it in chat. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we're doing this backwards. I was gonna have the other lady come on, but I don't know what happened to her. Hopefully she's listening so we don't have to go through this again. See, it's weird, man. It's weird. And this is why, like, listen, I don't know. I got to keep it real. Like, Noelle used to do this content, and a lot of these people wanted help, and then they get cold feet. There's something weird there, right? Like, I don't mind putting someone's story out there and all that, right? But it's weird. Like, I cannot tell anybody's story. Like, it's not my like kid. It's not my like. I didn't go through this thing here that someone else did. And what's crazy is, I was talking to this woman the whole night about coming on, and she was cool with it. But now the show starts. It's like I get people are anxious or whatever, but just say that. Like don't. If you don't get or understand how to join the chat, we can talk you through it like the other lady, but it's crazy. I just now I get why Noelle said nope, no more. Yeah, that's true. I see that you're in chat. So all you got to do is hit this link now. So I just dropped a link in chat. Just tap it and hit yes and yes. I get it, babe. I didn't understand it when you're going through it, but now I get it. Yeah.
Now you understand why I would.
Yes.
He would yell at me about not reading stuff like that. Yell at me, but like he would be like, "You don't have to have it. You can still do it." Like, you don't understand. I need it. This is like that's what I'm doing. I need this person.
No, I get it now. But what's weird is like, as much is this a topic I would. This is like something I don't normally do, and we're just gonna wing this tonight, y'all. And look, for what it's worth, y'all get to ask whatever questions you want. I'm not gonna, whatever you want is gonna go on the screen. We're gonna hear a person's story. Hopefully, the other person joins us. But this is just us, to hear someone's trials and tribulations with what I went through with CPS. CPS is a government monster, man, and there's massive amounts of corruption in it, and you need people to tell it. I guess I could tell the stories if they send me the receipts and stuff, but that would be, it would come off so weird. Like, you don't want me telling the guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys understand what I'm saying? But yeah, 100%. So, okay, did you hit the link? Boy, oh boy. I'm just going to have her tell it. If she can't figure it out, like within the next 3 minutes, I got the patience of a gnat. None. If she can't figure it out within 3 minutes, then what we're going to do is just do a phone call. It's so much easier. Just do a phone call. It's pretty simple. You just hit the link and hit yes. That's it. There's nothing else to think about. There's no further instructions. It's just that simple. But we can just do a phone call, I think. Okay. I don't see her backstage, nothing like that. So let me call her and we'll just do a phone call. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I'm just going to have you call, all right? Because it'll be 90,000 times easier, huh? Well, that doesn't have nothing to do with the StreamYards link. All you got to do is click the link, and then it's when you click the link, it's gonna bring you to StreamYards, right? Mm-hmm. Bluetooth? No, don't worry about that.
I'm on it, boss.
So let me get a Bluetooth. I'm just gonna do it right here. I can just do it on Facebook because don't worry about it. I just want to get a Bluetooth. Say something real fast. So I see if the chat can hear you. Hold on.
Hello, can you hear me?
One in the chat. Can y'all hear?
Hello.
Thank you, man.
My little one in the background.
What's up, Rhett's mom? Yeah, I'm just making sure people can see you or hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's up, Leslie? How are you? What's happening?
Oh, you know.
Alan, you can hear?
Yeah.
You may have to put in the community section. No, I'm not even doing that. But okay, so you could hear Ellen right now. Okay, cool. All right. So they can hear you. I'm just gonna put it on Bluetooth when my wife gets back. All right. So listen.
Awesome.
When you start explaining this thing, I know there's a lot going on. I know there's all types of different time frames, and you spoke to me earlier. Right. And when you're telling it to people, you want them to get the full grasp of the story and stuff. So kind of lay it light. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes you tell your full story. I don't want to tell you how to say anything, but just people want to kind of understand the grasp of it. What you went through. So I guess from the beginning, who was this? This was what child was this?
So in 2015, I had my first child, Maddox, and we were living in Wisconsin, and I was living in a shelter because my family wasn't able to help us with a place to stay. We moved back out there from Portland after I got pregnant. CPS initially got involved with me out there, but I've been a child of the state from the age of 6 months up until I was 18, so it made sense that they were coming in to check on me. Ultimately, it just seemed like another day, right? Okay,
Right.
CPS is just here to check on me. I'm a woman, take another one to make sure that we're doing okay. I mean, I was 20 years old, going on 21, but I didn't see anything wrong with this. It wasn't until I got out here to Oregon and they got involved again, and I essentially started a case against myself because I was running from domestic violence. That was the biggest mistake of my life.
So wait, time out there. You started a case against yourself on CPS?
Yes, I was running from domestic violence from my eldest son's dad. He essentially had me moving in with his family. We came back out here to Oregon and then subjected me to domestic violence and homelessness, sitting outside with a freaking sign with my child trying to make money so that we could survive. He wouldn't work. I couldn't trust him to watch the kids so we could, so I could have a job. I didn't know what I was doing ultimately, so I went and asked the state for help and said, I'm running from domestic violence. I need your help. He's beating me. He's doing these things. And they were like, okay, so we'll help you, but to comply with CPS. And I was like, okay, well, this is nothing short of what I've already dealt with. Okay, what do you need me to do?
Approximately 6 months later, my son ended up in CPS care, and it was a 7-year battle to fight for the guardianship that I now have with his guardian, who was his previous foster mom. We have an amazing relationship, and I'm so blessed to have her. And if I didn't have her, I wouldn't be able to win every CPS case I have now with the state since she's had my eldest boy. She's run such a great support system and support network. She ran it to adopt some children and give some kids a good home. But then when she ended up with my son, he was very traumatized from all of the care that he received and the bouncing around in homes and state care that ultimately she's not taking any other children anymore unless they're related to my eldest son.
Oh, wait, time out. So back in Portland with when you told the CPS you were trying to get help from them and you told them you're going through domestic violence. So that's why there was a case with that, right?
Yep. They said that I had a bad habit of bringing dangerous people around my child. I subjected him to neglect and abuse, and that I ultimately didn't know the scope of care that my child needed to be able to be a sufficient parent. I pleaded guilty to everything because, as I stated, I didn't know my rights back in the day. I didn't know that they had to prove these things. I didn't know that they were supposed to be helping you. I thought this was help because I've been groomed by CPS my entire life. So this would be the second time that you had a case with them from the original? No. I've had 20 cases not 21 cases with the state of Oregon. And only a few of them have been founded on my own recognizance. Essentially, like I said, when they'd ask me, did you go outside and smoke a cigarette and leave your child who's 6 years old watching cartoons in the apartment for 10 minutes by himself? I'm like, yeah, he's 6 years old. He can watch cartoons by himself. Oh, the allegation of neglect is founded. Excuse you, just because my son's sitting in his room watching cartoons because he doesn't want to be around cigarette smoke, that accusation's founded? So I have several founded accusations, and then the grand majority of my 21 cases are unfounded.
Okay, so hold on, roll way back. All right. So what originally was the kid taken from you for? Number one, the first case. And
my very first son.
Yeah, you told me this earlier, but
my very first case was because of domestic violence, homelessness, and leaving my son with transient individuals because of our living situation and not being able to find safety. Okay.
So the second time when you reached out for help with the domestic violence thing, that's what. So what happened with those two cases?
Well, I fought CPS for 7 years with my first son. During that time, at around 4 years during our case, I ended up pregnant with my second son. My lawyer tried to tell me that I should abort the baby because it would interfere with my case with my eldest son. I told the judge about that situation. My lawyer tried to lie in court, stating she didn't tell me that. So I fired her on the spot and got a new attorney. The case got extended another 2 years. And then me and Emily, after we'd gotten to know each other, which is my eldest son's guardian, we decided to go with the guardianship because they'd created a good bond with each other. And I could tell that she was just in it to help them. And she didn't care what the state wanted. And the state was trying to back her into a corner with a closed adoption, and she didn't want to close him out of his family. I would have ultimately won termination and gotten my son back, but then he would have lost a great resource out of Emily. So me and Emily thought it was in his best interest to do a guardianship.
Okay, Emily is who?
My eldest son's guardian.
Okay, so your eldest son's guardian. So Emily,
Yeah.
is that going back to the first two cases?
That's going back to the very first case. She got involved 4 years after he was in care. Well, he was 3 years old when he finally went to her home, and so she's been involved with my children for 8 years now.
Okay, from the state, or who is Emily in relation to you?
That's the funny thing is, after 4 years of fighting CPS, back and forth, doing their loopholes, jumping through their hoops, doing everything they asked me to, they were still continuing on with adoption. And they found her as an adoptive resource home. I had no relationship to her. In fact, I'd never met a single one of his foster parents before this time. It wasn't until we went to court. She asked why he'd been in her care for 2 years and an adoption hadn't happened. And she'd realized that she'd been lied to CPS when they told her he was ready for adoption and he was ready for a forever home. That's why we worked together against the state to do a guardianship instead of an adoption. Because I hadn't yet lost my rights, and she.
Okay, I follow you. Okay, I follow you. Okay, that's okay. I get it. Okay, so.
For fuck's sakes.
After the second case is, I know you said a lot, but you gotta. I know you have a lot. I know you got a lot to say, but it's hard to follow. It's hard to follow because.
Yes. So there's actually a sequence, a number of cases. The very first case is is a 4 year long case, and then I don't get my second case until I give birth to my second son, and they come and visit me in the hospital with him, and I'm living in a sober home, and I start that second case against me. But my youngest son doesn't get removed from my care. He stays in my care. In fact, he stays in my care up until 10 months old, right before COVID hit. They took him because his father had accused me of using methamphetamines when I'd been sober for 5 years at that point in time. They came in my home. They took him out of my home after a minor answered the door and did not have legal authority to allow any government agency into the home. They came back to my room. It was the day before Thanksgiving.
Wait, time out. Time out. I don't want to stop you. I'm a dummy. I have to. Okay, so we're past the second time. Now, what is the?
No, this is the very second case. This is when they take my second son into care. He's 10 months old. My elder son is still in custody, and they hadn't taken my son for the first 10 months of his life, my second son. It wasn't until 10 months into his life that his dad went to CPS and had accused me of using methamphetamines when I wasn't.
Okay.
I passed my drug test the very next day, and they were supposed to return him to me 2 weeks later, but COVID hit.
Gotcha.
So he was in care for 10 months.
Gotcha. Now that's why they're at the house and the minor answers?
Yeah, so that's why we had that second case. He was returned to me after the Oregon fires happened. He came home to me, and then I had DHS in and out of my home multiple times since then. They knock on my door probably once every 3 months because of some quote-unquote report. I removed my son from school for the last 2 weeks because for the fifth time after our case had been closed, they allowed CPS in to pull my son from school and class to be questioned, even though he's nonverbal, he's 6, he's autistic, and he's now, when I ask him, do you love mommy? Do you love, Emily? Do you love Maddox? Do you love, your teacher, Miss Ogilvy? He says yes to all of these things. But tell me why a nonverbal autistic 6-year-old is also able to articulate all done CPS.
How he's able to articulate what?
Right.
He doesn't
A nonverbal 6-year-old is able to articulate all done CPS.
So what do they say?
Sandra.
What do they say to the claims that? What did you say that a minor answered the door? I mean, so I don't know. Does that even how does that go with CPS? I would
request to speak to an
Quite frankly, if anybody
right.
knocks on a door, right, be it CPS, an officer, the person who's able to grant entry into the home is either the person who's head of the household lease or management. But management can't grant access to a home without 24-hour notice, right?
Right.
Ultimately, when a minor answers the door, they have to ask for an adult who is present in the home to come answer the door so they can serve a warrant. They pushed back the 13-year-old minor to get into the home, to come down to my bedroom, down the hall, to then tell me they were taking my son without presenting the warrant. I had to ask them for 15 minutes to present the warrant before I finally handed my son over to them. And then they wouldn't even let me take him down to the car.
Did you record it?
I did. I recorded that, and I recorded the very second time, which happened in January. I've got both recordings, and I've got recordings of my housing manager, my case manager at my old apartment complex. I've got videos of her boss, her supervisor, and my conversation. She stated during this conversation that she contacted the county about the egregious placement of me and my child at the apartment complex I was just recently at in January, and that she thought that it was a complete mirror against us and how we were placed at that apartment complex, because they placed us 4 doors down from a registered sex offender, did not tell me about it, and then subsequently reported me to CPS to make it look like it was my mistake and not theirs, having my child removed for 2 months.
Okay, before we get to the sex offender stuff, 1 second. If you can send me those videos if you want. Maybe have a send them to my shit.
I'm gonna send it to you right now. Or is there an email that I can PDF them to you?
No, I just have to. I'm on a phone call on Messenger with you. I'll tell you what we might have to do. I might have to call you back on phone.
Okay.
You know, or let me see. Actually, hold that thought. Did you send them? No, never mind. You can send them right to Messenger. Okay. I didn't know if I could access the media or the pictures or the videos while on Messenger while I'm on a phone call, but I guess I can. So okay.
So not hang up with you so that you can listen to them first and play them, and then you call me back if you need. So get into the messages right now. I also have videos of how they place other clients in that apartment complex in very horrendous situations, invoking psychological warfare against them.
Okay, do you have the videos of this?
Oh yeah, I have videos of a client who was placed in an apartment that wasn't renovated after his apartment was burned up in a fire, and he was released from the hospital. He was placed in an apartment and had scribbling all the wall.
Okay, send me the videos first, because I want to go back to the sex intercept. I kind of want to go back to. I kind of want to peel that back a little bit.
I have a lot of history of all these videos, so I've got to go back to these. I have them for days. Ridiculous. Okay, so I'm down at those videos. I'm going to send you the recent one.
Okay.
There's that one, and then here's the video of the client who was placed in a horrendous living condition after he was released from the hospital.
Messenger?
Yes, I'm sending them in Messenger. Hi, Bubba. Yeah, Goldfish. You're so smart. Wow. You are so smart, Ezra. You know that? Goldfish. Oh, and then I have another picture of a client sleeping in the lobby because her apartment was burned up. And instead of putting her in a hotel, they had her sleeping in the parking lot at first and then allowed her to sleep in the lobby in a tent.
I just not come in, so let me see this. All right, give me 1 second here. Let me go back up here.
And then here's the client that was placed in that ugly circumstance. Yes, Bubba, you are so smart.
Oh, shit.
That video at.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I never share my Facebook. Give me 1 second. Present. It might be doing this because I'm on the phone with you. I don't know though.
Yeah. It very well could be.
You have I'll tell you what. Damn, I don't do that. I'll tell you what. Um,
I can hang out for a moment so you can view the videos, and then you can give me a call.
yeah, I was gonna put your number there, but I don't want to share it. So what's going on with this? Oh, here we go. I could probably. All right. What happened? Okay, so now what exactly what is this? This first one, that's 7 seconds, 8 seconds.
The first video that I sent you, before the CPS, the fact that she placed me in such close proximity to registered sex offender, that's her boss admitting to the egregious placement of me and my son and her contacting the county to complain about it. The 7-second one is of the client who's a farm call fire. She was placed in the parent, not my own egregious decision.
All right, hold on. We just lagged out. I think it's because I'm on the phone with you. Let me. I'm gonna call you right back. All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna call you right back.
Right back.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. What happened to the square? What's my background like this for? Hello, hello. What up, y'all? I have no idea why it's doing this. It's weird. I was on the phone with her on Messenger, and then I was going to show videos that she sent in the same messenger, so I think that happened. I can't background though. All right. She's kind of like, okay, so if you're listening to this, it's not a dig, but you got to slow down a little bit because this is a long story and people got to be able to follow it. So I'm going to, I'm going to bring you back to just slow down because I'm going to ask questions and like this I'm so slow. I'm slow. Let's look at this. Fuck is this? Come on, play. So it's StreamYards that's messed up. Hold on, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on here, though. Twitter. That way I'll beat this shit like that. We'll do it like that. So she did send me videos. I'll have to send them to my Twitter guys. So give me a second. I do the rest of the phone. Look here. She must have that cold feet.
Themselves, but with that being said, I don't have a good trusting relationship here with anybody anymore because of the false allegations that were made against me to the CPS worker. With all of that being stated, I find it very, and Martin told me about the fact that it was an unsafe living environment for a child. And when I asked him to clarify with me about that, he said, well, I can't disclose information. And then stated, well, is there a registered sex offender that's living in the building that I need to be concerned about? You then disclose that information, but under tenant rights and obligation, knowing that there's going to be.
So this video, yes, it looks like she's recording somebody.
She's nonverbal and autistic. He had the legal right and authority to tell me, so I had the ability to make an informed safety decision on the place that I'm living with my child, which I was refused the access to.
So I did address that with the county, that, the fact that a child was placed here was an inappropriate decision to begin with.
Right.
And some feedback was initiated, and I was like, but you have to understand you're offering someone who's been houseless.
La Central tells me, okay, we'll go do this interview, right? Mm-hmm. And sign the lease. And if you don't sign this lease, we might not be able to guide you with your voucher anymore because you've been here for 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. But I come here, and they say to me that's not a safe living environment. That's not grounds enough for me to turn that away and continue with my voucher.
You have.
So I was forced to take this position.
I 100% agree with you.
That's fucked up, dude.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Athena. What? And you are 100% correct in that.
All right, hold on. So I stopped her at the sex offender thing because I know the story a little bit, but I'm trying to get her to slow down because there's a lot to it. So here's the CPS worker. I think to me, it looks like, I'll call her back in a second. It looks like she's got her phone by her side. You know how you can record somebody or just hit camera or whatever. It looks like she's got the phone by her side, holding it, recording the person or whatever. And that's what's happening right now. I don't know. That's my guess. But so meat potatoes is they kind of push her into living here. Say that it's unsafe. Well, you just heard her say it's unsafe. Why? Me?
You're black.
Is it me?
No, you're black. The screen's black.
I can see me.
I can't see you. I see black. Look.
What about now? Yeah, I'm right there. It's just not big for some reason.
Oh, there you are. Never mind. Hi.
Hold on, let me fix it.
No, you know what happened was that my text bubble was over
it's
here,
cool, it's
little
cool.
tiny ass square in the corner.
It's all whacked out. It was all weird, but I figured it out. So, okay. All right. So the lady is forced to live here. Then they tell her she can't stay here. And then come to find out, there's a sex offender somewhere, like right next door, I think. And I have no idea. We'll call her back in a second. But this video, let me show you guys. So what I'm saying is this. Look, here's the rest of the video.
This was not an appropriate.
See, they hold her by her side.
It just wasn't, because of the folks who were living here. And it was not your responsibility to. How could you turn that down?
Right.
You didn't have a home,
and
you were
I was basically living in my RV.
Right. It was survival for you, and so I am 100% on your side.
And then the fact that, when I first get here and I find out that she's she used to be a caseworker for CPS, automatically my trust in her has been eliminated. I don't trust CPS. So why would I trust with information that could remove my child from my home?
So, it's like I said,
if I had knowledge of that, why would I
do
that to somebody who could have my child removed from the home? You know what I mean?
I understand where you're coming from, and I can't I don't know the circumstances under which, you know, they said, what was that?
In court, they stated that Liz stated to them that I said to her that I knew about my then partner's criminal history, and that I stated to her that I didn't care because I thought he was innocent.
Well, I knew that part, but I meant like I didn't know like when it supposedly was said and those kind of things. You know, I offered it before and you weren't interested, but I'll offer it again to you. If you would like to sit down for a mediation, maybe with your caseworker from Sequoia. And
I would rather my lawyer sit down and have a conversation with her because the words couldn't be manipulated in court.
If that's, I mean, I'm happy to do that if that's something you wanted to do, you know, and have some kind of conversation where you guys are able to talk through what had happened. You know, that's an option if you want to think about it. If you want to.
Damn, Ellen, I didn't know you had surgeries. That sucks. Yeah, we're getting broken over here. We're getting old. All right, so I played the 7-1. That was the 3-minute one. This one I kind of got to show, man. Let me figure this out. I'm just gonna put it on my Twitter. That's how we're gonna do this.
This is Todd's old room. Todd just passed away. They haven't even fully renovated it yet, and they're putting a mentally ill resident in here because he doesn't know how to defend. This is Todd's old room. Todd just passed away. They haven't even fully renovated it yet, and they're putting a mentally ill resident in here because he doesn't know how to defend himself and ask for things that he knows he's deserving.
That's gotta let me share this fucking this. I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on, let's try this. Present, share screen, Facebook, Bing. Okay, here we go right here. Here we go. Finally. Woo! Now we're going Greece. Jesus Christ. What kind of bobo shit is this, white boy?
Old room. Todd just passed away. They're putting a mentally ill resident in here because he doesn't know how, and he's been left in this situation because it's easy to take advantage of the.
What's this one?
Right there.
Tony, please state your name, buddy.
Yep.
Youngstrom. This is your new, right?
Yep.
And any food and fridge.
Yeah. Holy shit. What? Keep mad again for some weird reason. All right. Let me get her back on here and out of control. I don't know how to explain. All right. So I did all the videos. I don't know. So, okay. So to your story, we heard the lady say that she's there because she thinks it's unsafe living conditions. But then at the same breath, she says she agrees with you. And this is because of the living situation that they kind of put you in at that point, correct?
Yes. And this is the case manager's supervisor. Our housing, when you're living under a grant like ARLA, which is a regional long-term assistance plan.
What is it called?
It's called the ARLA, RLRA, Regional Long-Term Assistance Program. It's a grant that's provided to Oregonians for approximately 10 years to supply funds for rent. So like if you're part of a low-income family household situation, they'll give you a grant that'll pay for your housing for 10 years. I fall under that. My ARLA caseworker placed me at Heartwood Commons. I went in to do my interview with them. I was placed with a caseworker. The caseworkers then didn't inform me about the fact that there was registered sex offender living on site. And then furthermore, a year down the road when I found out about the registered sex offender living for me, I made a complaint to security. And a month later, my son was taken into care.
Okay, time out. Okay, so why was the caseworker there? Because what was the unsafe conditions at why were they there? What was unsafe about it?
They claimed that I leave my son unsupervised for extended periods of time, that I knew about the history of people living in this apartment complex, that I didn't have safety precautions set up in my apartment for my child, like locks on my cupboards and on my fridge and whatnot. They said that they thought that he was being abused because at school he broke his collarbone in September, and I had taken to an osteo doctor to have that fixed. They claimed that I was denying respite care for my child, even though my son already has respite care set up with my eldest son's guardian.
Okay, time out.
Altogether, they claimed that they were providing resources they weren't providing, and that I was turning them away.
Okay, so
Can I have a thank you?
so they took your son that time, correct?
Yes.
And did they
around in January? They took my son.
So where are the other locations for this specific program that you just said, the 10-year rent thing that you were talking about? Where's the other options at where you live at?
Okay, so the Regional Long-Term Assistance Program is specifically for Oregon, and that is any county in Oregon. So I am currently through Washington County, which means that I can choose between Aloha, Beaverton, Hillsborough, and like Cornelius or Corvallis or whatever it is, and then like other small areas. But I can also ask through the Long-Term Regional Assistance Program to be transferred to a different county where they would still have an ARLA grant recipient who could help me figure out housing in another county.
All right. So, but I'm saying though, how far are those places for you? Like for you to choose this location. So what is your options? What is your argument of when the lady's there saying this is unsafe and stuff? What's your argument to that?
So I was in a program called La Central La Familia. I had not yet received my ARLA grant. I was sleeping in a hotel with my son, which was riddled with barbiturial users who are using fentanyl and heroin, and the hallway stunk like it. And we had continuous drug activity and gang activity in the hotel. And La Central La Familia, my worker came to me and said, we have an appointment scheduled for you at this new apartment complex that just opened up, and the wait list is open. So we'd like for you to go view the apartment complex. I went to go view it. I found out that it was a renovated old motel. It was just a studio apartment. I told them, I said, I don't think this is going to be a good fit for me. My caseworker with La Central La Familia told me I don't really have an option because this is the only thing that they can find available for me right now. And I've already been on the hotel voucher system for 2 years. He said, if you turn this option away, I can't promise we're going to be able to continue with your voucher because we need to make space for other families who need this space. So I went in, I did my interview with the new apartment complex. I asked them about why it wasn't safe for a child to live there. They wouldn't give me any explicit information as to why it wasn't safe. It just said it wasn't safe. When I took that to my La Central La Familia person, they stated that they didn't feel that it was concrete enough for me to turn it away, so I went and signed the lease.
Okay, so you lose the kid again.
Yeah, for the second time in a row. He'd been taken at 10 months old, and now he was just turning 6.
How long on all these periods of times is the kid getting taken from you? Like
my first time, my son was taken for those 7 years, and we signed a guardianship. My second time, Ezra was taken at 10 months, and he was gone for 10 months. The third time he was taken was for 10 days, and it wasn't because the state took custody. They were knocking on my door.
Wait. It's getting confusing. We're gonna focus right on this.
That was the first time that I allowed my son to go to a family friend's house for a couple of days because they were investigating me, and I didn't want them in my home with my son present. So I had him go with Emily, the guardian, to be with her so that I could do a walkthrough with them, and then he came home without any interference with CPS. The third time that he was physically taken from the second time that he was actually taken from my care by CPS was this last time in January, and he was gone for 2 months. And they returned him 2 days before jurisdiction. They dropped every charge that they had against me, and I never did a walkthrough with them or signed a single piece of paperwork, and I stood up for my rights and didn't fold the entire time, which I'm thankful that I did.
Okay, so you get the kid back at this time. So what happens next? I'm talking about only the period about this hotel voucher when they come over. There's a sex offender guy there. You have all this stuff in your favor, in a sense. So what is the next sequence of events? Don't go all the way. Just the next sequence of event. What happens next?
The sequence of events is that I am now subsequently moved into my new apartment. I had gotten my son back at the old place. They weren't going to place him with me there, however, because I'd been pre-approved for my new place. They placed him with me and dropped everything. They really had nothing against me anymore. So then I moved over here to my new place. What's the matter, Bubba?
And
honey, you need something?
That was the last time they took him from you?
That was the last time that they took him from me. They returned him 2 days before jurisdiction.
Have you spoken to anybody about any of all this? Any type of lawyer or anything?
After the case was dropped, I got a hold of my lawyer to have my paperwork produced for me. My lawyer produced my paperwork, and now I'm going through my paperwork to break it down with Gemini. And from everything that I've been going out over with Gemini, I've only dropped maybe five pictures of my case file, which is an entire Pendaflex box of documents, literally full of stacks. And I sent you a picture of it. It's literally
I've seen it.
Stacked with paperwork. I'm going through all of that right now, and I'm actively working on a Monell claim. I plan on going and fighting the state of Oregon and suing the government of Oregon, which you can only do if you can prove that their laws and their policies violated your constitutional rights.
What's it called? A Mondell claim?
A Monell claim, Monell. And it is what you do when you're going against the government agency and not one singular person.
Have they responded to any, or you haven't filed anything yet?
I haven't filed it yet. I'm currently looking for a lawyer who will help me with my case pro bono until I can win the lawsuit and then pay them in favor after I get my case won. I know I have enough to win a case. I just need to find somebody ballsy enough to take on the state. That's
where you're probably going to have problem with you do know that CPS attacks people repeatedly, and it sounds like they absolutely went after you a million times, and you didn't even say all the stuff. It's just confusing. I'm trying to clear it up. I know you got a lot on your head, but so you have both your kids back now? All your kids are back?
My youngest son in my care and custody, and me and my older son get to visit whenever we want to. He technically has custody of himself, but is in Emily's guardianship and can return home anytime that he asks the judge to return home. That's why we set the guardianship up the way that we did, because we wanted it to be Maddox's safe choice.
Did you bring up in court the last time the kid was taken from you in that whole apartment voucher situation? Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, but did you bring up in court that there was a sex offender living right there?
I brought up to my lawyer, who brought up to the judge, who told CPS they really had, they talked it over with the VA and ultimately realized that they had no subject matter jurisdiction to even have my son in care, which is why he was returned home to me 2 days before his jurisdiction trial, and everything was dropped. I never, like I said, did a single walkthrough. They never entered my home for these 2 months. I didn't sign a single contract. In fact, the first month that he was in care, they presented me with a piece of paperwork, asked me to ask the state for governmental funds to supplement my child, which is what is it called? It's not just gaslighting, but they're manipulating you. They take away your funds when they take your child from you, right? And they say, okay, well, now that your child's in care, we need those funds so that we can provide for them, right? And that's monetary abuse. They're abusing the child's authority over you to then use that money that's going for you and your child to take care of the child, to then give that to whoever's in that child's care is in, right? But they keep a portion of that money for themselves. That's why human trafficking. In fact, back before even the Great Depression had happened, they started the children orphan trains, which was during the time when America was at a high populace of children living on the streets, because there was factories all over the place. People who were having babies weren't able to take care of them, or either aborting them illegally or were having the babies and picking up children who were older. 6 years old was considered old enough to be an adult. They would end up on the streets, take over paper routes, and oftentimes these boys would get into a lot of trouble. And girls ended up prostituting and finding new ways to support themselves. Eventually, there was this man who saw the crisis and wanted to make a difference. So he decided he was going to set up the orphan train. He was going to round up as many street children as he could find. He was going to take them to different cities, and he's going to put them up on a podium, and he's going to let other families come through and have their pickings of these children to give them a new home. None of these people were vetted. None of them were background checked. Most of the people that came to these podium stands to grab these children left like slaves on an auction block, ended up taking those children only because they needed hands for their farmland. And ultimately, at the end of all of this stuff, we find out that the children who were placed on these farmlands weren't even very well taken care of. A lot of them were abused.
Yeah.
There's success stories in there, but there's also
there's a lot of abuse.
Mental example of child CPS.
There's a massive amounts of abuse, emotional, mental, physical, sexual abuse. It all happens in the foster care system. It's all, and yeah, it is all big money. This, your situation is crazy because you think are you exaggerating when you say 20 cases?
No, I sent you that picture with all the redacted information. That is every case that they're associating with me.
Have they? So after this last time, have you heard of them? Have they bothered you? What I mean,
they did knock on my door the very day after I moved into my new place. They did knock on my door.
All right, they did. Let me ask you this: who called on the? So the first time you said somebody called on you the first time. I forget who you said. You said something about
my caseworker. When I was living at the new place, my caseworker called on me because she was trying to hide the fact that she placed me 4 doors down from the registered sex offender.
So who called?
Making it seem like it was my fault.
That was the last time, you mean? That was the last time that
was when he ended up in care, yes. And then when I moved out of the apartment complex, I was very combative. They had refused to help me find ways to move myself from that apartment over to here, even though my other grant requires them to do so. So I became a little verbally aggressive, moving at the lady who had reported me, making comments like, the reason why your husband left you is because he doesn't want you to take his children away from him too, and stuff like that. And ultimately ended up in them helping me move my stuff over here, but they reported me to CPS for being aggressive.
God. All right. This is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. You need to get, I don't know, I don't even know.
Investigation against possession.
I mean, who wouldn't be aggressive if you're getting fucked up? Well, I mean, just the situation that you've been in, it's crazy. It's
right, and the worst part is the lady who reported me, who was in charge of my housing caseload. She was a CPS caseworker for a year last year before she became a housing caseworker and left because she wasn't getting paid enough. So then tell me why you're going to be working in a building where there's one child resident present out of all 53 units, and you're going to specifically pick out that family and report them to CPS, even though you're not working for CPS anymore. Tell me that's not a conflict of interest.
It's wild. Wait, I got to ask you this, though, because if you do get a lawyer, So you when CPS gets involved, you have to go to their little court. I've been there one
The
time.
shelter hearing.
I never
Yes,
had
the
no.
shelter hearing. That's the first one.
I never had any CPS stuff happen. Thank God, and it was the biggest stress that I had doing a YouTube channel, because I've had people call my work. I've had people call my probation officer. I've had people call everybody in my life, but no one did a fraudulent CPS case. Thank God. And any cocksucker that thinks about doing it now, you can't, because everything's over 18.
Away, that is the worst way to mess with somebody. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
up here in Oregon, it seems to be a very popular trick in people's sleeves. They like
It's
to
popular everywhere.
mess with people's kids. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, but my children are going to be strong, independent people who understand their rights because of the fight that I've had to put forth for them.
What's up, Shay? What's happening? All right, I want to try to see if I can get this other woman on.
Yeah, you're fine.
I don't know if anybody. Can I share your Facebook?
Yeah, by all means. I also have a TikTok account. So if people want to come and join my TikTok and ask questions, they're more than welcome to. It's Athena Humphrey. I follow Dallas Malega too, so you can find me through his pages as well.
Okay. All right. I'll definitely share it. I appreciate you coming on. And if you any updates, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these or not. I'll have to see.
I appreciate you. If you need any help with these things, getting stories out and stuff like that, let me know. I'd love to be a part of the project.
Well, this is the deal, man. Everybody gets cold feet. Like I told you before we started this, there was another lady with a completely different story, a completely different aspect for people to kind of like see the corruption. But she didn't come on. She's probably watching right now, and that's cool. But like, I don't get it. Like, why? Like the thing is, like, I went to the group.
It's probably because there's not a lot of people out there who have stories that are actually talking about them, because they're, look at me. I've been out there talking about my cases, but what has it done except for get more CPS involvement against me happening, right? The more you talk about it, the more they come after you. The more they come after you, the more you fear that anytime you're walking down the street, you're going to be photographed. Clipboards scare me. Anytime somebody comes to my door with a clipboard, I turn them away the moment they enter. The moment I see them through my people. I have a log in my front kitchen, in my drawer, so that when people knock on my door, they have to sign a sign-in sheet stating that they were here, how they got into my building, who they're here with, their name, the corporation that they work for, and everything. Because I'm not screwing around anymore. I want my rights respected, and I'm not going to stand for them violating my Fifth Amendment rights to privacy and illegal searches and seizures, violating my due process rights.
Yeah, you got to know your rights. That's one thing you got to know. You got to know your rights, and you can never let them things go. They're very important. But yeah,
right.
All right. I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna see if I can message this other woman and keep your head
Definitely.
up.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem.
Bye.
All right. Whew. All right. That was a lot, man. That was a lot. It was a lot, but it seems like I was trying to slow her down because I don't know who's going to watch this replay or whatever. And she was talking really fast. And she was doing that before, too, when I talked to her. It's probably just how she is. She sounds like she has major anxiety, probably due to all this. I mean, how could you not? It's crazy, man. CPS is a weird thing. Like, to me, it's weird. Charlotte says her family works in there. I don't know. I don't think all CPS is bad. I don't know. Like, how do you? I don't know. It's such a tough subject, right? It gets abused a lot for sure, and there's massive corruption in there. That there's definitely no one can deny that. But you know, what else are you going to do in a situation where you feel like a child is not getting the correct parenting? So it's not the easiest like replacement, right? I'm just kind of flustered and a little bit aggravated that this person didn't join, but it's cool. It is what it is. And now I get it, because like I said, Noelle used to do these lives all the time, and you want to help people, but like this is like, it's crazy. So we'll try it one more time. Let me give it a call. I actually shared this in the group too, so All right. We'll just. We got to worry about it. It is what it is. People get. I have no idea. But anyway, so I guess we could scan the old Twitter streets. Most free attorneys will give you, yeah. I have no idea. I don't even know what to offer somebody like with. She needs an advocate, and yeah, she needs something. What's up, Steven? What's happening, man? I meant to contact you this week. I've been really busy. I need to holler at you about something. So happy to see you. Yeah, I'm doing a different one tonight, man. Something completely different. I don't know if I'm gonna continue doing these or not. I'd like to because it switches up the content a little bit. I get bored always doing the same lives, but I don't know. It's frustrating setting all these up. For me, it is because I work and I work a second shift, and then there's a lot of communication behind the scenes trying to set this up, and then. Like I wasn't even gonna do this live if I tried to have 3 people to come on because I knew somebody was not gonna show up. So and here we are with the same problem, but it is what it is. All right. Anyway, I may continue to do it. I think it's gonna be on the other channel though. Well, so I might try to build that channel up too because I almost got 1,000 subs up over there. I'm trying to get it rolling. We'll have to see. But back to this channel and back to the content that we do. Look here, man. Can't emphasize in the next couple days, BHB is going to have is going to get massively triggered. I can't wait for it. I want to talk about it so much, but I can't. It's going down very shortly, and I have to edit the stuff up, put it together, mix it up, and then I'm going to drop it. I think after this live, I'm going to make an apology to the community because of the triggerness that's going to follow behind the sequence of events after that. I cannot wait for it. It's going to be the best ever, and I cannot wait. I really can't. Dude, I don't know if it's raining. I don't know what's going on, but my everything is just poop tonight. Crap. McDonald's Wi-Fi. New member. What? Oh, you lost your member, babe? No way. I told him earlier. Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be good, Steven. I wanted to talk to you about something that you texted me about because I have some information for you. If you don't hear from me by tomorrow, call me and I'll get it to you. But yeah, this was something different, guys. CPS. I want to kind of show the corruption stuff. But people, listen, I want to show you guys something just so you guys can understand this. Look at this, right? If it'll let me show you guys. Look at this. So I made let me try to show you everything, right? I'll just keep it very, very transparent for everybody. Because I know this is I posted this live in the group, right? So let's do something real fast. Let's go here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so I'm not going to show all my damn messages, but the first like 20 people here is all DCS people. You know what I'm saying? CPS people that wanted to come on from this group. And I'm telling you, man, I got bombarded with, I'll just show you some. Here's a good one here. Hi, sure. I'd be interested in discussing my story on your channel. So I ended up copy and pasted this right here. Okay, I work a crazy shift. It's a second shift from 2 to 10 p.m. So my schedule is wild. I also have been overwhelmed with requests since posting this in the group. When's a good time to talk? So there's all this stuff happening behind the scenes, right? Which is a lot of time, right? And believe it or not, it may not seem like a lot of time, but listen, man, I get up at like 11 o'clock. I leave my house at 12:30, right? To be at work by 2, right? So I have like an hour and a half in the morning before work, and then I don't get off until 10 p.m. So on the way home, I'm catching up on messages and stuff, but I got bombarded with messages for people to come on and share their story. And the thing is, like, there were some really deep corruption stories that people were telling me. Then I had this weird thing where people were telling me what was going on. And then I'm like, okay, so I'm going to schedule a live up shortly. And they're like, oh, I don't know if I can come on. I'm like, well, what the hell did you just tell me the whole story for? Like, do you want me to say it? Like I can't tell someone's story. I guess I could, but it doesn't hit right. You know what I'm saying? And then like I opened up with that lady with the crazy mother-in-law. That shit was crazy. That was crazy. But yeah, I want to see if we can get this thing going better, clearer, way more smoother, then maybe we'll do it on the second channel. But if it's going to be like this every time, hey. Come on with the comments. There it goes. I don't blame. Nice to hear something different. Yeah, it is. It is. Been looking around. It's all the same crap on YouTube lately. You know, I want to make some videos and do some stuff, but it's like, man, I don't want to. Need something new. You know what I'm saying? What brought in a caseworker to begin with? Tell me. Listen, you talking about with her? It is really, really deep. I'm just now seeing the comments were jacked up here for a while. Probably Charlotte. And that's a good comment, Charlotte, and very important to say. Look, man, if you watch this replay, I'm as unbiased as possible on this certain topic. I would like to expose the corruption, but we're going to get people in here that might be crying corruption and there's no corruption. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that's going to happen if I continue to cover this, but I don't know if I can and will. I don't know if I have the patience for it, to be honest with you. It's just too much, you know? I only do Zoom. Oh, you doing something with Charlotte? Ohio. Each state has a child protection ombudsman. They should be filing complaints with that agency. Nothing can be done about these problems without the data to support any charges. Bam! Duckin' Felonies comes through with the facts again. Shout out to Duckin'. Y'all subscribe to Duckin', man. Duckin's probably is a massively underrated channel. You know what I'm saying? Massively underrated. Anything, Avery. Yeah, wifey was doing it. But you run into the same problems. Anyway, listen, so I'm probably gonna jump off here. I just want to do a trial run. I don't know if I do anything like this in the future, excuse me, it'll be on the second channel. Make sure you subscribe to the second channel, Whiteboy Radio Clips. I want to give that channel like some home content, like you know, right now I post a lot of clips like edits and stuff. If I'm making a video or a parody over here, I'll throw like a clip of the parody over there or something like that. If I'm live for 2-3 hours, I take like clips of the live out and throw it over there, so you have to watch the whole thing. It's basically just a clip channel, but I want to give it to give it to some home content. but I don't want to make 2 channels of the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Why? You know why? So I want to alter the second channel a little different, but I don't know really what to do over there. I've been struggling with that for some time. Leave it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make that channel a little different than this one. So that's why this is a little different tonight. We'll see what happens in the future. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to jump off there. Look, in the next few days, Bullhorn Betty is going to blow she's going to lose her shit. I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize. I'm going to future apologize for what is about to come. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a video real fast and upload it on my channel. It's going to be an apology to the entire community of what is about to happen. Okay. There's a massive thing about to happen, and you guys are going to see it. And it's happening real soon. So stay tuned. Other than that, if you have a CPS story and you're in the group watching this and you want to do something, I want to help you. But you gotta have to know how to join a panel. I can explain all that in the communication. You gotta have receipts, and you gotta tell your story. I can't do it, and you gotta not have cold feet. If I do it, I've never been CPS'd. I know nothing about it, right? I can't tell your story, just like you couldn't tell mine, right? I couldn't have you tell my story either, because you'd forget something, or you'd mess it up, or it wouldn't hit right. You know what I'm saying? So if you want me to help you, I'll help you. But you got to do the work, man. That's all I can tell you as far as that. All right. You had a good day, Frenchie. Shay. What's up, Shay? All right, I'm jumping off, y'all. This was a trial run, a test run. We'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments. Say, white boy, no, this sucks. Yeah, I'd like to see it. Or just let me know anything, man. Until the next one, I got to go make this video real fast. She probably does, Charlotte. Okay, I'm jumping off. Much love, y'all. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I'm out. What's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe to my clip channel at White Boy Radio Clips, and in the description box is the link to be a member. Become a member if you can. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, stay smart. Peace.